What's up, guys? This is Joey with Krav Maga XD. Today we're talking about, do we punch with our knuckles or do we punch with our palms? And if we do both of them, when do we do it? So today we just got done teaching a class. It's about, I don't even know what time it is over here. I think it's like 10:15, 10:30. Right now we have a kickboxing class going on, actually. Check it out, Adam. Coach Adam's teaching. There's lots of pad work in there. Basically, we were talking. If you ever want to try the class, just go to kravclass.com. Check it out. It's free. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna love it. And we were talking today in class about punching with palms and knuckles. At least it came up with one of our students that was asking this question. So it's a great question. A lot of people, when they first come in here, think it's just bare knuckles all the time. And then when we say punch with their palms, they're like, why would I do that? It feels kind of weak, like wimpy to do that. And then some people, when they come in here, they're scared to punch with their knuckles because when they hit, their wrist bends and it hurts them and stuff like that. So let's talk about it a little bit, okay? And we get people that come in here all the time, and all they want to do is learn something practical that they can learn quickly, and they don't need to train forever. So we have to give you little tidbits that are going to help you and that's going to help you be successful in a self-defense fight without needing to go over it for years and mastering it for years, okay? So here's a very simple drill that we do. Sometimes what we do is we'll take, it's going to be kind of weird, I'm going to go on the ground to show you this. We take students and we tell them to go on the ground. Let's see if I can get my little tripod to work up here a little better. And then what we do is we say, okay, when you're on the ground, what I want you to do is I want you to punch the ground with your palms. So they'll punch the ground with their palms and they'll hit pretty hard. Then I'll say make knuckles and punch with your ground with the knuckles. And then almost everybody punches about 50% or less power when they punch with their knuckles on the ground. And that should be common sense. Why? Well, we don't want to punch the ground. We don't want to break our hands. And when we punch with our knuckles on something hard like that, we don't want to break, it's going to hurt our hands a lot. So that drill is a simple way to show people that punching with their knuckles hurts a lot more than punching with their hands. Therefore, what's possible is that when we get into a fight, our brain is holding us back from punching hard because we're scared it's going to hurt. So we may not deliver as hard of a punch. Therefore, when you punch with your palm, you may punch harder, even though it feels like it's a weaker strike. But honestly though, guys, the strike, sorry, I'm gonna tripod this out. The strike power doesn't come from a knuckle or a palm. It comes from your hips and your recoil. So it really has the same amount of strike when you really think about it, the same amount of power. In fact, I would probably have you consider that when you punch with the palm, you'll strike nice and hard as you can. You may punch harder than you would if you punch with your top two knuckles because of that holding back that we were talking about earlier, okay? So that's one little tidbit. We do think that you'll punch harder and it'll hurt a lot less if you punch with your palms. Now, if you do punch with your knuckles and you do it correctly, like if you watched the video last week, we talked about punching with your knuckles. You want to make sure you're hitting with the top two knuckles, just like so, okay? So you see how these are my bottom two, my middle two, my top two. The top two are what you want to make contact with. Hey, what's going on, guys? The top two you want to make contact with. So if you do punch something hard with the top two knuckles, whether it's a face, a jaw, maybe a little bit higher up, maybe a nose, maybe a jaw this way, maybe punching the body, maybe punching different areas that are a little bit more cushioned, the top two knuckles will help you not break your hand. If you punch knuckles to someone's head, something that's hard like a forehead or even the eye socket area, side of the head, this area right here is super, let me see if I get this a little higher, is super strong. So if you punch someone that turns their head and you punch straight down, you'll probably break your hand. So palms may be better for that situation. A really good fighter for self-defense fighting, by the way, not for boxing because they have gloves on, it's a lot different. A really good self-defense fighter, if in a fight, first off, disclaimer, if you are a good self-defense fighter, hey, what's going on, Daniel? You would not get into a fight. But if you did get into a fight, you would be good enough to transition from knuckles to palms depending on the target. So if I'm hitting someone in the nose or the jaw, I may go for the knuckles. And if I hit them with the next punch and they turn their head and I'm aiming here, I may now open my hand up to use my palm heel strike. Or what we call a hammer fist, where you're using the meaty part of your hand. So those are some different options for your punches. And we just want you to use them accordingly. If someone's in front of me and I punch them to the body, I'm gonna use my knuckles right now, because why not? It's the soft, most likely a soft area, and we're squeezing through and trying to punch them nice and hard. If I'm hitting them in the back of the head, I'll use my palms. So kind of an interesting story. Hopefully that makes sense. If you want to try that class, go to kravclass.com. We were training with a SWAT team, and I'm not going to say where they were, but we were training a SWAT team, and you know, I gotta be honest with you, their punches weren't so good. Their ability to strike wasn't as good as I thought it was gonna be until after we trained them. And one of the things that they were talking about, a good majority of them said they have broken their hands while getting into altercations. Someone tackling them in like a jail, or someone that they're on the streets with, or someone they get in a fight with, they would break their hands all the time. Every time they got in a problem. So what we did is we taught them how to use palms, and then we taught them how to hit the top 2 knuckles. And what was awesome is that when I checked in with them about a year or so later, after when we did another training, they actually reported back that they haven't been breaking their hands at all. So just by simply changing palms to knuckles, that was enough to get them to not break their hands anymore, which is awesome. That's what we want to do. We want to not break your hand. You don't want to break your hand on the first punch, and then you don't have a hand anymore to hit with if you are in a self-defense situation. All right, guys, that's it for today. I think the class is just ending. Maybe we'll pop the phone off and see how these sexy beasts are doing in there. I think they're doing kickboxing. Sometimes in kickboxing class, we actually burn up to like 900 calories, which is insane. Let's see what happens. Girls. There you go. Good. Keep your hands up. There's Bob. This is our sexiest student right here. Right here. Abel. Coach Adam kicking some ass. Bruce Lee. Right. Just working some kickboxing strikes. Krav class just ended. They're just getting some sweat in. It's freaking hot over here. We're down in Costa Mesa, Newport Beach area, and the sun came out, which is awesome. All right, guys, that's it for today. Have a great, wonderful rest of your day, and talk to you soon.